So the question is, what is emergence in complex systems? Emergence is somewhat mysterious, even though we're trying to understand it better. Emergence is essentially the creation of capabilities or behaviors when you put lots of components together that none of the components would have by themselves. So only when you put everything together does something almost magical happen. I think what's interesting about emergence is that it can be positive or it can be negative. So for example, let me give you a very simple example. If you are in a football stadium and watching a football game and people are doing the wave, right? If you just look at one person at a time, they're just getting up and down in their seat. And you wonder, well, why are they doing that? But when you step back and look at the whole system, you have this wave propagating around the stadium. And that's a good example, I think, of emergence. This phenomenon of wave emerges by individuals behaving in a very particular way, but the key to that is synchronization. If it's not synchronized, it's just chaos. Only through synchronization does emergence occur. Now, sometimes emergence is a positive, so a lot of the complex functions in systems are emergent functions, and we want them to happen. But sometimes emergence can be negative, and I'll give you an example of that. And the example is texting while driving. So when our digital devices, our phones, started to emerge, we started to use them for making phone calls, storing address information, and also texting, which is a great way to communicate asynchronously. The problem is when people start texting while they're driving, it's very distracting. And there's been statistics and research that have shown that texting while driving is now the leading or one of the leading causes of major accidents on the road. So this connection between these types of digital devices, texting, and causing major traffic accidents is also an example of emergence, but not the kind of emergence that we want. So the question now is, how do we deal with it? Do we find a technological fix? Do we change our laws? How do we promote or incentivize people to change their behaviors? And so emergence can be positive, it can be negative, but it's always interesting.